Yeah, and you mentioned Tom Cruise earlier with the couch incident, and I spoke with another former Scientologist, and I was asking him like, what was the view of Tom Cruise from within Scientology? And he said, I think his comparison he made was the Apostle Paul for Christianity, and then John Travolta was kind of like a maybe one of the disciples, perhaps one of the 12.
Maybe, maybe.
Uh,
Cruz is Cruz is considered probably the most successful and important Scientologist on the planet from Scientologists' internal point of view. Next, of course, to David Miscavige. Cruz does not have the status that David Miscavige has. David Miscavige is the leader of Scientology, and make no mistake, he is the top dog. But he's best friends with Tom Cruise, right? So Cruise is the ultimate success story of Scientology. It's what all Scientologists kind of aspire to be, successful like he is. And I think that's how he's thought of. He's not involved in the day-to-day, church operations or management of the church. He doesn't run anything in the church. It's not his place. So it's not like anybody's looking at him for guidance in how the church should be doing what it's doing. That's David Miscavige's job, right? So Cruz is just kind of this celebrity, popular figure,
mm,
and it was most prominent in the early mid 2000s when Cruz was kind of trying to make a public play for Scientology, and it was around the time of the Katie Holmes and the couch jumping, and and the Matt Lauer disastrous interview, and his war with Brooke Shields, and I mean that time period was where Cruz was really trying to be a public face for Scientology. And sure enough, when you look at his interview with Matt Lauer, he was being a Scientologist. That's exactly how they look and sound and talk. They're not friendly people. They are very much people on a mission, and they feel that what they're doing is more important than anything anybody else is doing anywhere. And there's another video that was leaked out of the church of what we call the turtleneck video, where Cruz is talking to Scientologists about being a Scientologist. And he says things like, when you're you see an accident on the side of the road, you got to stop and do something about it because you're the only one who can help. And you're like, EMTs, medical professionals? No, Scientologists. They're the only ones who can help, right? And so it was kind of, Cruz is pretty fanatical about Scientology. I mean, that is the right word to use for him.
so because I'm always thinking like, does he actually believe it, or does he just feed off of the
Oh, yeah.
power it gives him? But he actually is
Both.
convinced by it.
Both.
Both. Yeah.
Both. Yeah, because that's what Scientology does is it creates a narcissistic attitude in a person.
Mm,
I'm not going to say it creates narcissistic personality disorder, but it creates a narcissistic attitude. It encourages it. And the processes and rituals of Scientology create that in a person. I mean, I've spent endless amounts of time breaking that down for people. It's an incredibly egotistical, sort of self-centered kind of religion. It's all about attaining personal spiritual immortality and becoming a god.
mhm.
That's what it's about. So it's yeah. So Cruz is the epitome of that in many ways, and in his personal life, he's surrounded by Scientologists. He's in a bubble of a bubble. It's already bad enough when you're a celebrity, especially at his level. You're forced to live in your own little bubble world. You can only rely on so many people. You have to have kind of an inner circle because everybody wants something from you. You can't help that as a celebrity or a VIP or a billionaire. When you're living in the rarefied air of our society, you have to close ranks and keep it tight. But even within that lifestyle, Tom Cruise keeps it even tighter, right? He's got nothing but Scientologists around him, and they report back to David Miscavige on what Tom Cruise is up to. Tom Cruise doesn't know that, right? But David Miscavige is privy to every single secret Tom Cruise has ever told. But Tom Cruise is a true believer. It's not a blackmail situation. They really are best friends. As far as Cruise and Miscavige are capable of having friends, which is pretty, debatable. They are friends. And, David Miscavige was Cruz's best man at his wedding and, in Italy with Katie Holmes. That relationship is real. So that's how that works.
Speaking of David Miscavige, the whole thing about his wife last being seen in, I think,
Yep.
2007,
Yep.
since you're still in it,
True.
were there were there talks about that at all? About
Never.
never.
Never. Never. I didn't even know until I knew David Miscavige was married, but I never gave his wife a second thought the entire time I was in Scientology. Her appearance or disappearance was none of my business. It was not. You don't, when you're in a structured authoritarian environment, it's not, you don't get to question things. Things happen above you on the social ladder or on the hierarchy. And as far as you're concerned, it's none of your damn business. You keep your eyes shut, you keep your nose down, you do your work, you do what's expected of you, and that's it. If you were to question, where's Shelly? You'd be in so much trouble so fast, right? So fast. So you just learn in that kind of an environment, and everybody in the environment learns this, that you keep your damn mouth shut. If you have questions, keep them to yourself, right? Because no good is going to come out of asking those questions.